Heather McDonald has got the juiciest scoop. When you're on the road, when you're on the go, Juicy Scoop is the show to know. She talks Hollywood tales, her real life Mr. Segment serial data and serial sister. You'll be addicted and addicted fast to the #1 tabloid real life podcast. Listen in, listen up. Whoop whoop. Heather McDonald, Juicy Scoop.
Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop. It's been a minute and I've heard your cries. Justin Martindale is back for a fun Juicy Scoop surprise. How are you?
I am wonderful. I feel great. I look great. The world's
does.
on fire. Let's go.
Lost a few LBs.
Thank you.
Sober January. I did not do a sober January, but I did a sober January light, which I wasn't sober, but I would go like 2 or 3 days without drinking, or I would not drink as much. Definitely Chardonnay has taken a back seat in my life.
Yeah.
And that's made a difference. And yeah, we're here to just get into so much scoop.
I'm very excited. So the cleanse was worth it.
It was all worth it. Well, I've been talking about this all month. The TJ Holmes and Amy Robach saga has concluded. They went to mediation. First we found out they both got the boot. Both gone. To remind people, these are the two hosts of Good Morning America. She was married. She was married twice, but her second husband was
Andrew Shue.
And he had 2 wives, but his second wife he had a child with, and she didn't have any children with Andrew Shue. She brought girls, I think, to the marriage, and he brought 2 sons. Okay. Anyway, they started boning. Turned out TJ has also had an affair with a married producer and a 24-year-old intern at the time a few years ago. So, as I said, I believe he's a serial cheater, but true love prevails, right? So they meet, and supposedly, this is all coming from Page 6 and stuff, that they brought up the fact that she also allegedly would drink on the set. Or in the dressing room. She had wine in her dressing room, whatever.
Okay.
Anyway, after they left the mediation, she did full-blown toddler jump straight out of The Bachelor and was running through the fields and all her legs strapped around TJ. So I believe they did very well in their goodbye settlement money.
Yeah.
And that is why they are so thrilled.
Yeah, they don't care.
They don't have to wake up at 5 a.m.
No.
They can fuck at 5
Exactly.
in their own bed, and then they'll start their podcast.
Yeah.
TJ and Amy.
Good porking America.
Yeah.
You know?
Good porking America, TJ and Amy. Yes, that's what will be happening. I believe iHeart is probably already given them an offer.
I got it. It's even better. Good moaning America. That's what it is.
And we're going to talk about sex. We're going to talk about
drinking wine in our dressing room. Hello.
We're going to talk about being part of, entering middle age and doesn't have to define you. How to stay friends with your kids and stepkids when you're not with them anymore.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it all, and guess what? It's going to be unfiltered.
Yeah, as it should be.
And you're going to get all that you loved from us from Good Morning America, but so much more, so much more real. And
do you like cheating on your spouse? Have we got a segment for you? Like coming up after the break, how to get away with polygamy.
And this is going to be a big FU to Andrew Shue, because Andrew Shue was doing a podcast with Amy's mother.
Oh, really?
Yes, they had a podcast together. It's a little tiny hidden fact I found. It has been scraped from the internet and from iTunes, but they had one.
Oh.
So I don't know if the mom's going to come back and do the audio for them. I don't know what her role was, but that is what I believe will be happening. Also, I thought this was interesting that Page 6 posted, these are Andrew's sons, and they're pretty hot.
Andrew Shue's
sons from his first marriage before Amy, and they, I don't know, posted some cryptic stuff. I don't think they're thrilled with their former stepmom, obviously.
Who cares? Like, they're hot. Their dad's Andrew Shue. Let everyone just live. And everyone's like, oh my God, she's drinking wine in her dressing room. Hello? Do we remember Kathy Lee Gifford drinking a whole igloo cooler of like Pinot Grigio on set?
Was it Kathy Lee? Yes, it was Kathy Lee, and Hoda started that.
She's just like pouring it in.
But I
like,
don't know if they really were drinking them.
Yes,
anyway,
they were.
But you know, she's done. Her job was over at 10 a.m. What does it matter if she has a cocktail after?
Yeah, let her live. Honestly, and I forgot about him because I'm gonna make a prediction.
Yes.
You ready?
Yeah.
Both of them.
Yes.
Will be competing against each other on Dancing with the Stars.
Wow. I have not thought of that. Interesting, because Dancing with the Stars is ABC and Good Morning America is ABC. So do they want to fuck with them again?
I mean...
Or is this a wink, wink, we still love you, we wish you the best,
or
twirl around?
Do we get her, who's been in the headlines, and then we get Andrew Shue? Because I don't know if Andrew Shue's been on Dancing with the Stars.
There is no way Andrew Shue wants to do Dancing with the Stars. He has disappeared.
What, does he want to do his podcast with his mother-in-law?
I don't know. Listen, I have to say, Justin, I think this is a brilliant marketing idea to smooth things over, move on, but I don't think it'll happen because Dancing with Stars is on ABC.
Okay.
If it was on NBC, I'd say, brilliant move. Could they do something like the Special Forces or Big Brother or something like that? Possibly. Not this year. Give it a minute. Give it a minute to breathe.
Oh, right. In Disney. ABC's Disney.
Yeah.
So infidelity doesn't exist.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
A girl can dream.
So there we go. That's done. Anna Delvey supposedly has a reality show. From what I've read, it sounds like it's more... I don't know where it's going to air yet.
She doesn't either.
It is being filmed. It has a production company, which, worst case scenario, which isn't a bad case, YouTube, whatever. I'm sure it'll find a home. But she is having dinner parties. Remember the show Dinner for Five? And that was like on A&E, and it was like they would just have dinner and talk. I feel like a lot of people have tried to do that, whether it's Chloe and Cocktails or whatever.
Oh, right.
Actually, Hugh Hefner had a show many years ago, a million years ago, like 50 years ago, where he kind of was the first to do that, where he'd have like Sammy Davis Jr. and he'd be like playmate, and they would just talk, and like the camera, it would be like a cocktail party, and then the camera would come close and he'd like have an interesting conversation with someone. So like, I think that the concept, but the fact that it's her and that all these people are going. Now, granted, if I was invited, I would be on a plane to New York tomorrow and act like I've never talked shit about her. But apparently, the Anna Delvey birthday after party required signed NDAs. Now, I don't know if the after birthday party was the same as the dinner party, but even if you were doing this without Anna Delvey, probably they'd make you sign something being like, you can't divulge what the show is about until after it's aired. But supposedly, yeah, of course, I don't know why she didn't go back to Germany or wherever she's from. I'm not for seeing convicted convicts make it in Hollywood, but
here we are.
But here we are.
I also, like, if Anna Delvey was like, yes, you can come to my party. It's going to be very exclusive. All I need is social security number. I'm not giving her that. Like, oh, okay. Do I get screen time at this dinner party? Yeah, my social security number is.
So, Anna, I'm now at the dinner party because I'm a thirsty bitch and I say no to nothing and I have no true morals. So I'm at your show. I'm thrilled to be possibly on TV. And I'd like a free meal that's served with like a wine pairing, which I'm all about.
Okay.
So I'm there in New York, and now you're going to ask me, Heather McDonald, Juicy Scoop, something, because you're such an incredible interviewer, former con artist woman. And it was and it was also a curated group of people. Curated is curated cheese board.
Yes.
Like not picking up people, like curated. I would like a gay Indonesian.
Oh, what a palette.
I'd like a lesbian Upper West Side Asian. We don't have a lot of lesbian Asians.
That's true.
I would like a Valley Girl mother who's hanging on to her youth, who's a desperate old comedian. Heather McDonald? Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay. Go.
First of all, I'd like to welcome all of you to my curated popularity board. It's not a cheese board, it's a popularity board. I have things from all walks of life. As you can see, I'm very excited to have you, Heather McDonald. Your podcast is, it's okay, you know? It's very...
I agree. It's not the top.
It speaks to a lot of people. I am at the top of the listening podcast, though.
Okay.
I see you also did not bring your complimentary ankle bracelet that was given to you in the gift bag. It's sent beforehand.
I have to say, Anna, great sense of humor. Love that you can make fun of yourself. And you know what? Actually, the anklet is really quite stunning. It's beautiful. I love that you collabed with a jewelry designer, Claire's
ex Anna. Yes. I'm very glad you know the small details. That's why I like you. You get it.
I think we're going to hit it off, actually. I think Anna and I are going to hit it off.
Thank you so much. If you could, though, you could just put your social security number right here at the end of this guest book. That'd be great.
Oh, okay.
It's just to have, you know, nothing bad will happen. It's just I love numbers, and yours just seem really good, you know?
You know what it could be really good is, this is what she could say. I really need your social security number, not because I'm trying to scam you or something. Obviously, I'm a successful TV actress now with my own talk show, dinner show. But I have a numerologist coming.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
I just want to read I want to read the guests like I read the room, you know?
Yeah, so she's going to tell you who you should fall in love with, who you should divorce, what's going to happen in your life.
Yeah, but I'm not going to, like, buy things or open accounts or anything like that with them.
Because that part of your life is over with,
It's
right?
over with, yeah. And then, like, I've been there, done that, you know, but... If you could just hurry up and put those numbers down, that'd be great. I have to, like, mail them to my father.
Well, I'm so happy that Anna's doing well. I hope she has time to do my show.
Oh.
I've talked about doing this show, and Name That Doll, which is a great Instagram account. You are familiar. Made me the poster. Hopefully ABC will pick it up, being that now they have some spots to pay people that they're not paying TJ and Amy. I will be hosting. It's called Grifters. The cast this is just a temporary cast. But it does include Anna Delvey, Mary Crosby, who was the cult leader from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
Okay.
Jen Shah, who we will get into in a minute. The Chrisleys, if they can make it come out of prison early. So I don't know if that'll work. We have George Santos, the Republican with 20 Lies.
The drag queen as well?
Yes,
okay.
We have Hilaria. And we have Diane Jenkins, who is from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, who's not getting picked up for next season, so she's available. And it's Grifters. Now, I also put Todrick Hall in there, which we're going to talk about his new show. Some people said, how dare you, Heather, cast Todrick Hall? Sorry, I would hope that Todrick would want a part. And what the show is maybe he'll be the winner because he's not a grifter. Maybe part of this TV show, which we're still working out, Grifters, is proving that you are either the best grifter or you're truly not a grifter at all. I haven't worked out the game.
I did.
Okay. Tell me.
I think in the spirit of the Traitors, which is so good.
Yes, on Peacock.
So good. And like, I'm not a Big Brother.
Right.
Like,
but it's kind of in the vein.
Yes, but I love Kate Chastain.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
and Brandi. Yes, there are the Traitors. And then there are the, what are they called? I can't remember what the other ones are called. They begin with an F. The IMA.
Okay, whatever.
Anyways, fuck, that's going to
There's
bug
the other
me.
people. There's 3 traitors, right?
The what? The Faithful, yes.
Okay.
So there's the Faithful and the Traitors. So you have to find out who the actual true grifter is. And each night someone gets murdered.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And Evan and I were watching The Traitors, and Evan was like, do they really get murdered? And I was like, well, that would be a twist, wouldn't it, Evan?
No, that will be what happens in about 7 years from now. Real murder. Yeah.
Are they truly grifters? That's a good one.
Yeah. So anyway, good luck to her. Really hope that all works out.
What is your exit line when they leave, since you're the host?
Oh.
Do you say the time has come to grift away?
Yes.
Or is it
I like that.
Yeah. Okay.
I like that. So I'd be like, Anna, you've played a great game, but it's time to grift away. I want to work in my singing because that's truly what I really wanted. So
while you're doing the show,
grift away, Grift away. Come back another day. I don't know.
Oh,
We're gonna work. It needs a little time.
Available on iTunes.
It needs a little bit of time. Okay. I'm going to get into some scoop that happened in the Housewives world this weekend. Brandi Glanville, who you just mentioned.
Yes.
Former Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, really has made a career since she's left the show of being on Ultimate Girls Trip. This is the second time she's been on one. She's been on multiple overseas Big Brother stuff. She is on Traitors. She's a heavy drinker.
Yeah.
And unapologetic about it. And she has done some crazy things in her history. She has slapped Elisa Vanderpump in the face for no reason. She's thrown a drink at Eileen. She has gotten physical with people. She's gone out with some friends. And when she got really drunk and was photographed with her tampon string coming out of her, in which she embraced it all and bragged about, I still get my period, which is why I say it as like a joke, because I always thought it was so funny that she'd brag. She'd always be like, oh, menopause mamas. And they're like, yeah, we know you get your period because you're walking around with your tampon string. I'm not
Is that why there's
her.
a tampon filter on Instagram?
Probably.
Okay.
Is there a real tampon filter?
Yeah. Like I was like scrolling through the filters and one of them was just a tampon. And I was like.
A real tampon or just a string coming out of a skirt?
No, like no one wants that filter.
Anyway, it's all fine. She's embraced that she's a hot mess, and that's why she gets continued to be cast. But she has a real sweet, nice side to her that can really bring people in. So I heard about this over the weekend. So they're in Morocco, and she is there with Caroline Manzo, who we haven't seen in years, and it took a lot for them to convince Caroline Manzo and a lot of money for her to come to this show. So they were like, something went down. There was an altercation. Everyone was talking about it. I found out a couple days ago what it was, but I was sworn to secrecy. But now that People Magazine says what it is, I can talk about what it is. Apparently, Brandi was all over Caroline and tried to kiss her several times. Now, I don't know how like physical it really got, but Caroline apparently didn't want it, didn't like it. And finally was like enough to the point where production was like, wait, I think she's really upset and therefore we have to make something happen. And allegedly, the girls were feeling bad for Brandi and on Brandi's side, which then pissed off Caroline more. And then Brandi, was crying and everything. She went home 2 days early. Caroline went 1 day early. The rest of the girls stayed Saturday night, wrapped it up. Now the season is over. I think Bravo couldn't be happier that we're even talking about this.
Oh, for sure.
So I don't think they were trying to keep it secret. And now that, People has even written about it. And so, listen, Brandi is bisexual, has been in relationships with women, has told that on the show. It's not a secret.
Didn't she like finger blast Denise Richards or something?
Yes. And what I want to say about that is the shows have become so sexual and bisexual that it's so different than when I first started watching the show as a housewife. So I don't know if it's because Bravo is predominantly run by gay men and they assume this is what 50-year-old women want to watch, that when we go out, we want to see, like Potomac last night, this one girl's getting married to her husband. Well, he was her ex-husband. They're getting remarried. Let's have a bachelorette party. Okay, let's dress sexy clothes. Let's have strippers. That's what Giselle says. They end up going to like a strip club where the girls are completely nude, like vagina, high heels.
The girls are?
They go to a female.
Oh, they went to a woman's strip club.
The strip club. And then they're eating steak and lobster, like smothered. It looks like a Salisbury steak. They're eating their food while these girls that most likely are victims of sexual assault, maybe not, I'm guessing, probably didn't have the greatest situation to get there. They're spinning around. They're giving them money. Maybe someone could say that's female empowerment. I don't really think it's the demographic that the network was built on. But hey, did I watch the whole thing? Yeah, I did. So maybe I'm being a hypocrite. Anyway.
And was there truffle butter on that steak?
I don't know. But the girls are spinning around. I mean, and it's not just like titties out. It is full vagina out.
That's weird.
And they're like hopping and everything. Also on Potomac, they talk about how two girls got together one night, showed each other's vaginas, touched them, went off with each other. There's multiple infidelities with men that aren't their husbands. It's so sexual, Potomac.
Well, even like, what's her name? Bronwyn, right? Because
yes, so Bronwyn had made out with Tamara, then Bronwyn came out, then Bronwyn said, I got fired because you don't like lesbians. I'm like, no, that's not the problem. You just didn't fit. But I'm saying if this thing went down with Caroline and the season of Potomac, and then the thing happened with Brandi and Denise, where apparently she spent the night while she was on set and they got together in her bed. It would have been a blip. It would have never been. Now, I feel like that scandal of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, of Denise and Brandi possibly like fingering each other or whatever, or scissoring or whatever they do, and just getting tasty with each other, would have been like, now if that was on, I think people would be like, yeah, and so what?
Yeah.
And like, doesn't everybody do that? That's 50 when their husbands aren't around. And the truth is, no.
Yeah.
No. Like, and so I think Caroline was like, no.
Get off of me.
I don't find it funny. I'm a 60-year-old woman.
Yes.
I came to Morocco. I don't find your drunken messiness funny. I don't want to make out with you. I don't want people to see me making out with you. I'm married. I don't think it's cute.
Yeah.
And I think it got, that's how she gets rehired, is she keeps pushing the envelope.
We're trying to up the ante.
So I think she was upping the ante, and now I'm
clearly sober. There was no alcohol involved in this whatsoever.
Right, and now I'm sure she has a good heart.
Yes,
and I'm sure she regrets it, and I'm sure she wants to be hired again, and I'm sure she will do her best to. I'm sure there's flowers going to Caroline's house.
For sure,
I'm sure she's doing it all. But the fact is, when you are being assaulted by Brandi Glanville, which I have at a dinner at Craig's.
I have as well.
What's your story?
It was at the Comedy Store one night. She was there. And
what happened?
She was just a drunk mess and like just letting me have it in the hallway. It was just
what was she saying?
Just casual things you say when you meet somebody for the first time, like, are you gay? Like that.
Okay.
Just kind of like a up and down look. I remember she came in. I forget who she was seeing. I want to say she was seeing Theo Vaughn or something. Like they had a weird thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But I remember like her like hooping and hollering in the back, like while I was on stage.
Oh.
Just like unnecessarily.
We do not appreciate that as the stand-up.
Just woo! Yeah. Ah! And I'm just like, all right, okay, Brandi
Could it be that
Glanville.
she's possibly drawing attention to herself?
Yes.
While a professional is performing.
For sure.
I can't imagine any Real Housewife ever doing that.
It's bonkers.
It's
I would never even think.
It's not their personality trait whatsoever.
Here's the thing, though. She's fantastic television.
I agree.
Fantastic television.
Listen, I'm not asking for her to be fired ever.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, yeah.
But also Caroline is too. One of the most iconic lines of Housewives franchise is "You garbage." Like that's
also
my favorite.
These trips are not fun. They're full work.
Yeah.
And does a 60-year-old woman, after being assaulted by a drunk woman and being up for 10 days filming this show, possibly want to maybe be a little more, is my opinion, a little more dramatic about this so that she can go 2 days early on the Emirates in her private pod home early to her family and grandchildren? Yeah. Maybe, possibly. Let me just get home earlier and it's not going to affect my check. Let's just call it a day. I didn't want this. You guys didn't step in. Screw you. I'm not okay with it.
This is going to smooth over. As someone who has been assaulted by a 60-year-old feral woman.
She's not 60, Brandi.
No. Oh, wait. Caroline is.
Yes.
Okay, so let's just take the best of both of them.
Okay.
60 and feral.
Yes.
At our Dallas show. Remember the lady who got kicked out of the show? Remember she was like, and then like afterwards she like came back and was like, and I had to get her away from me. Her friend was like, it's her birthday and she wants a cameo from you, so I gave her a cameo. So see,
well, at least
things can be smoothed out,
and you made a couple dollars from it.
A couple.
So it all worked out. But yeah, with my Brandi situation, which I've told a bunch of times, but she just said some really mean things at dinner to me about being a mother, and it just affected me on the wrong day. But we continued to continue the evening, and then she immediately in the morning, like 7 a.m., wrote me a very nice email. I'm very good with Brandi. I have no problem with Brandi. Don't come for me, Brandi. I think you're fun, but I love, and like she should be like, you're welcome, Bravo. People will be watching this season.
Absolutely.
But do I feel for Caroline? Yeah, I do. Sometimes people aren't into and you shouldn't be seen as a prude if you're
Wanna make out.
if you're not into making out with someone other than your spouse. Like that shouldn't be seen. Just because you're on the Housewives, you shouldn't have to bump naked tits or grab each other's vaginas or grab each other's implants or want to lick a stripper's asshole or wear bondage wear. When you get hired to be a real housewife, it should be, we want to come into your life. We want to see how you run your business. We want to have a couple funny, snarky remarks. We want to see how you deal with other women.
Yeah. But also, let me see your butthole.
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
Right.
Like, I don't know where we've gone, but I think they need
to...
I think they need to bring it... This is like not Girls Gone Wild, okay, from the 90s.
Housewives Gone Wild.
It's basically how every scene is, let's get really wasted, let's grab each other, let's
fight.
let's get sexual, let's bring Bolo here, let's
hump the floor. You're right, it is.
It's like enough.
Yeah, we get it.
Okay. Unfortunately, though, which I was the most excited about, Bravo allegedly, is Page 6 is saying this too, I think, or Daily Mail. Anyway, that Bravo has reportedly lost interest in RHONY, the legacy, over the money dispute. So they were going to do a whole nother season, which was going to be on Peacock, which was going to be it was going to be Sonia. Well, Ramona was never going to be part of it, but it was going to be, I think, Sonia, Luann, Jill Zarin, Dorinda, Kelly Bessimone. I don't know I just think it was those ones and maybe like a couple others. But the money was apparently very insulting. It wasn't favored nations, meaning, for those that don't know, where you'd all get the same, because people like Luann, who's been on for many years, and people that are coming back after several years maybe shouldn't be the same, but those people coming back after several years are definitely deserve more to have their lives disrupted, and they're going to bring it, and they're going to show intimate things about the relationship. So they were going back and forth, as they should, to get the most money they can, and it just came to a standstill, I guess. I don't know if it's gone forever, but there's no plan of it starting.
What do you think this budget was? I don't think, they're like, oh, the money's terrible. I don't think it was that bad.
They were saying, like, the Bravo put it out there or whatever, someone put it out. They think they're Friends. They want $1 million an episode. I doubt that.
You're not the cast of Friends.
But I think that they wanted a decent amount of money for the season, because unlike the Ultimate Girls Trip, which is a great formula to utilize talent doesn't have to be tied down. They're gone for 10 to 12 days or maximum or whatever, and they each make like 100 or 200 or 250. I've heard they make between 100 and 250 for doing that, and it's great. But this was going to be many more weeks. This was going to be months and months. And the money, in comparison to doing a Ultimate Girls, was not good at all. And so, yeah, they all were kind of holding out. And so that's, it's one of those things. You need it all to come. I think this might be something that they put out there so that the fans are like, we want it. Or maybe the fans are like, we don't care. And I think they're kind of gauging it. How much do we want to try to make this happen or not?
Yeah, because I feel like if Girls Trip is like what, All-Stars, pretty much? Like an All-Star season?
Yeah.
And then Legacy is kind of like the all-winners season, right?
And Ramona wasn't going to do it, which is just like a bummer for me. Yeah. Well, for me it is, because I like to do Ramona.
Heather, you'll make it through.
No, yeah. So we'll see what happens. I know the next TLC show that's coming, even though it hasn't been announced yet.
Okay.
It is a mom, dad, and a mom, dad. Okay. One big happy family. Meet the new Polyfamily.
Okay.
So they're on TikTok. They are growing their TikTok account, in which Today's Parents picked up this article. So basically, this is what happened. This couple started to talk to another couple to like swing or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then they really liked them. And they're like, we just enjoy you so much. Would you guys come and move down here? Mm-hmm. And then they had 2 kids together, and they told their 2 kids, listen, this is mommy's boyfriend, and this is daddy's girlfriend. And they're going to move in with us, and they're going to also parent you. And you're to respect them as you do us. They are your parents now forever, along with us. That's what they tell their like elementary age kids. Then the 2 women in the foursome both get pregnant. They're screwing their married husband, but they're also screwing the other one. They each have their babies. They don't get DNA tests because they're like, we don't want to know who the dad is of either kid. We're all going to just raise these kids together as a foursome that gets to sleep with each other. I don't know if there's any lesbian or gay stuff going on or just switching each other. But that's the story. And they said if these kids want to know when they're older who their real dad is, they can pay for that test themselves, but we're not going to find out.
Family by love, not blood.
Yeah. I mean, what is the chance of this honestly lasting like another 10 years? No fucking way, in my opinion.
I don't get it. I'm like, but wait.
Well, I just explained it to you.
Drag queens reading to kids is the problem? Okay.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just blown away by this.
Anyone can do whatever they want, but this is weird. And I think that the thing I'm the most disturbed about is them being like, these are your parents now. And like, they get to parent you. But I mean, I guess that's kind of like Sister Wives too, where they had to just accept that this was their mom as well. But they kind of have their own mom. But I almost felt this was weirder because the kids were younger. I don't know. That's a new show that'll probably happen.
We'll be giving out prizes for GoFundMe donations for a friend who's battling cancer.
Oh, so this was
Hang out with the Quad. Okay, so they've got like that's their brand, the Quad.
Yeah. And hey, listen, if you're going to put it out there on TikTok, I hope you do get a reality show because you've put it out there already. You might as well make some real money from it.
Yeah, I need to know if there's like lesbian and gay because she has is her hair rainbow color or no?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so or it's like pink and blue, which is also the color of the trans flag. So,
all right,
interesting.
I watched Megan.
Yes, and
saw it last night. We rented it for $20 and watched it in the comfort of our home with Peter and Brandon. And I mean, I loved it because my favorite Twilight Zone was Talking Tina. Are you familiar? Listen, hello, streamers. Again, I'm giving you, I don't care how much Twilight Zone costs. You need to buy Twilight Zone. Apple TV, whoever, she needs to bid as much as it is and put Twilight Zone.
I think it is.
Old-fashioned Twilight Zone.
I think it is.
Can check.
It is.
Because kids that have not watched Twilight Zone, you will love watching these shows from the 1950s and early 60s. So many things have copied it, Black Mirror, whatever. But there is a Talking Tina. My name is Talking Tina, and I don't like you. And it's a little girl gets a doll, and she loves it. And it's like you pull the string and it talks. And then the dad thinks that the doll is evil, and he tries to kill the doll, and the doll, is alive.
Yeah, it's streaming in a lot of places.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
it is streaming.
Watch
it.
If you have not, especially teenagers and stuff, I think you would really enjoy it.
Yeah.
Can you tell me where it's streaming? I want to start watching with Brandon.
Yeah.
It was there was this Brandon and I were riding our bikes in this gated community where we saw an open house out in La Quinta, and after we left, we could not find our way out. And there was another one of my favorite my Twilight Zones, where there was a couple and they went out and partied and they drank, and then while they're driving home, they don't know what happened. They're driving home drunk, and then which is a good lesson not to drive home drunk, and they woke up and they're like in this like different community. And so they're like trying to like figure out how to get out there. Their cars, there's no gas in their car or something. So they're like walking around, and then they like push this somehow they see that this like nightstand or whatever, like a light post or whatever, falls over, and it's like fake. It's like, they're like, what is this? And then at the end, this little hand comes and is playing with them, and it's like aliens took them, and now they're like little dolls for like an alien like giant child somewhere.
There's some really good
So
ones.
genius. And I was like, oh my God, Brandon, this is the Twilight Zone, and we're not going to be able to get out of this gated community. Like, it was, everything comes back to Twilight Zone.
Well, one of my favorite episodes is there's like this one of like this like housewife, and she like she's on this like show and she like wakes up with this black eye and like doesn't know what happened, and then like everyone has these like theories and conspiracies, and like it turns out that like I don't know, she just partied too hard one night. My favorite episode for sure is of Twilight Zone is it's the one with William Shatner and the girl, and they go into the diner and it's like a fortune teller and they put in a nickel and they're like, you know, should we leave? And it's like, you should probably go now. And they leave. And then, like, you know, while they're gone, there's like a car accident or something. And he's like, wait, no, the machine, we have to sit down. And so they get addicted to asking this thing, like these questions. And then finally they leave. Yeah. And then the other couple comes in and they've just lost everything because they've just been asking this machine, like, questions about, like, their future. So good. Megan, yes. I could talk about
my favorite
Twilight
is
Zone.
also the plastic surgery one.
Oh, yes.
Where this woman
she's hideous.
She's beautiful, and she's going to get her face done, and she's talking about how like children scream and point at her in grocery stores, and she doesn't know what. And it's because everybody has a pig face.
Yeah.
But her.
Yeah.
So she's going to get plastic surgery to look like a pig face. So many things have become reality today that it's like, you know, so juicy. So,
but see, Megan also goes back with like, we love, I mean, the SNL sketch was fantastic.
Yes.
So it's like, we love a good unhinged woman. And that's true. And I was like, wow, that was supposed to be a secret, Bo and Yang, but okay. But yeah, I mean, you go with Megan, you're going to Annabelle. There was an 80s TV show, I don't remember if you know or remember, called Small Wonder.
Yes. Small Wonder.
Yes.
Okay. Hate to bring
she
it
was
back
our
to
Megan.
Me. But when I was in my sorority at USC, we were like, oh my God, Small Wonder is going through Rush.
Yeah.
We have got to get Small Wonder in
was
our house.
Was she really?
Yeah, but I don't think she went with our house.
Oh,
but we were dying that she was like, we're like, Small Wonder's going through Rush. We have to get her in our house.
We love a doll. And I had her on my podcast, Jenna Davis. She was fantastic.
The girl who does the voice.
The girl who does the voice, yes.
Amazing.
It's going to be a good one.
The next movie I'm going to see with a group of girls, because I have a friend named Lainey who organizes. Last thing I saw with her was Whitney, which is the perfect movie to see in a movie theater with other people. With the Whitney Houston story, which was pretty lifetimey, but fun for. We go to the fancy movie theater in Westlake where you can get drinks and food.
Oh, yeah. Is there any other way?
No. Anyway, so I just wrote her and I go, I think we need to get a bunch of girls together to go see the final tease, Magic Mike's Last Dance. Like that, like you. That's the only that go see in a movie theater with a bunch of girls and get fucking boozy and like.
That's
laugh.
what I did. The last Magic Mike I went with a group of girls and it was a lot of fun. We actually got real money. Yeah. And we're throwing it at the screen, which we kind of regret doing now. But as somebody who went and saw Magic Mike live with,
well, the Potomac girls have the things for the lesbians, for the strippers. Yes. They have the guns. So.
But like my friend Jacqueline Marfuji hosts she's the MC for Magic Mike Live in Vegas.
Oh,
they give you like pink dollar bills.
Cute.
So I would say like print out fake money and throw it to the screen.
I have several monopolies, so I can.
It's the same thing.
I can just do that.
How are we feeling though about Salma Hayek and Channing Tatum though?
Sure, why not?
Why not?
Sure, why not? I have no problem with this.
I mean, it's going to be hot and heavy. I think it's great. He's also wanting to redo the Ghost movie with Patrick Swayze, and I think Channing Tatum's just kind of like making things sexy that we didn't ask for.
I'll take it.
A sexy ghost? Ghost was already sexy. Hello.
Yeah.
How many women enrolled in pottery making after that movie?
Yeah, that was hot.
So many.
And there was a twist to it and everything. That was like what's exciting is the twist. It's like Sixth Sense. Doesn't need to be remade. Because the whole thing was like the surprise ending.
Yeah, yeah.
Julia Fox just killed it. Now the new thing is, it used to be now be ugly, show your ugliness. Now it's show your messy, gross apartment.
Yes.
And you will get 1 million views and be beloved. So just get on that if you want to be authentic.
I saw this and immediately I was triggered. Because there's nothing that pisses me off more than somebody taking a selfie or a video in their room with an unmade bed.
Okay.
It drives me insane.
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
No, I think that's a common thing.
It's just like,
take
hey
a
guys,
second.
here's my room. I'm like, make your bed. What are you doing, you Viking? Like,
But she knows. She knows. She's making her popular. So he had his 4th wedding. Marc Anthony tied the knot with former Miss Universe contestant Nadia Ferreira. She's absolutely stunning. She's 23. She looks 15. How old is Marc Anthony?
He's 56 in dog years.
I think he is probably about 56, maybe older. Doesn't mean they're not in love.
54.
Doesn't mean that a 31 year difference doesn't work.
Nope.
In fact, Catherine McPhee and her husband,
David Foster
just that we just saw at Craig's having no conversation and trying to be noticed. They, their son is really cute. She shared a video of him like playing the drums. And she said, I think on some talk show, that she would like to have more, but she has to convince him.
What? What do you mean you have to convince him?
convince-
Just go to the doctor.
Just get a sperm.
Yeah, just go.
Find another
go check
musical
in.
sperm.
Oh, I got him to get it. I have to get him in the mood. No, you go get your checkup. Here's the thing. We all know he has a type, clearly, and that's a Miss Universe.
Okay, so his first wife, Dania, can you look up her name? So she was, and I think she was Miss Universe.
Yes.
She was definitely Miss Puerto Rico, and I think she became Miss Universe. That was his first wife.
Dayanara Torres?
Dayanara, yeah. Anyway, one day I got a Christmas card,
Oh.
and I was like, why does this woman look familiar? And it was this woman with these 2 cute kids. And I'm like, oh my God. Anyway, somehow she must have gotten the addresses of all of us that were in her son's classroom. She had transferred to our school when Drake was like in 7th grade. And I was like, oh my God, this is Marc Anthony's ex-wife. Like, Drake, become friends with this kid, you know? And then she had a party or like an 8th grade graduation party or something for the kid. And we go to the house, which was like a nice house, but it wasn't, you know, and at this time, I think he and J-Lo might have been married, but possibly divorced at this time too. And anyway, she had the crown, and I looked for a photo recently.
What?
I put on the crown.
She just had it out?
She let all the girls and me try it on.
It's like her Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, I asked for it. I said, you were Miss Universe, right? Wait, was she Miss Universe? Or just
Well,
Miss
if there was
Puerto
a
Rico?
crown, I would hope
Well,
so.
she could have it for Miss Puerto Rico.
Oh.
So anyway, this girl looks so much like her. Dark hair, light, you know, gorgeous face. Anyway, so his kid is my son's age. So, and I think he even has one older than that. But so his kid is basically her age, which is a common thing that happens, whatever.
She won Miss Universe in 1993.
So she won Miss Universe.
Yeah.
This girl didn't.
She was born in 1993.
Yeah, this girl didn't. Probably later than that.
Probably.
Yeah.
How old is she?
His first wife was crowned Miss Universe before his wife, who would enter the Miss Universe contest, was even conceived.
God bless. Oh.
And also, can you stop going to Miss Universe contests to
Yeah,
find
we
your wife?
get it,
My
you
God,
weirdo.
just
God.
because they offer you a free hotel room to judge.
Yeah, just let a girl wear a Fendi bucket hat and a Pomeranian. Just like, let her be.
Anyway, then he had J-Lo. Then he had another wife that
He has
didn't
kids with
last.
J-Lo. Twins, right?
He has the twins with J-Lo. Then he had another wife in between. That didn't work out. And then anyway, he got married to this girl this weekend, which was interesting because she had her premiere party.
For what?
J-Lo did for the shotgun wedding.
Oh, right. That's the movie where she's in a wedding dress.
Yes, and there's a viral video going around of her drinking her drink and Ben looking sober and miserable as always.
I'm right here.
telling her something. Telling her something, and everyone's like, "Oh, is it rude that she's having a sip of drink?" First of all, she's not a big boozer, but did he look unhappy to be at her premiere party in the moment that someone caught it at we've all been to premiere parties where you're at the party and then you kind of look over. I went to the shrinking premiere party
with Mary Lynn and Caroline.
Yes, saw them there, Caroline Ray, and I did a funny video of us on my Instagram because Caroline was like, "Let's do it all together." On the carpet, which is a good idea because my picture alone wasn't going to go anywhere anyway. But my friend Krista, our friend Krista, filmed me, and it was really funny because once it was done, then Caroline and they just turned and like walked away, so it looked like funny, and I made a little thing like, this is what it's like when you try to be with the popular girls and then they like blow you off. And then Caroline wrote me and was like, I hope you know that da-da-da. And I'm like, oh God, did the Heather Hive come after you?
Did you get dragged?
I'm like, I think the Heather Hive may have came after some people.
The Heather Hive came for them.
In some DMs, they didn't realize that they weren't being rude, that it was all in good fun.
And what did I say?
And
I
I'm
was
friendly
like,
with both.
Love my girls.
It's all in good fun.
The Heather Hive came for them.
And
she's like, please, sorry, we just want to live another day, please.
Yeah.
We're sorry, Juicy Scoop, we're sorry.
And I'm like, okay, so then I put in the thing, no, all in good fun, like just a funny video, whatever, just looked funny from the angle that was taken.
Of course.
Of just how awkward a red carpet situation is anyway.
Yes, because I love Mary Lynn and Caroline so much. They're just great.
So we go to the party at Cicconi's after.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a star-studded event of like real actors from real TV shows and real movies and too many to even now. So the whole restaurant is for this thing and it's like all, full food, full open bar, whatever you want. And I'm like, wow. Nobody has their phone out. Nobody.
Why? Did they make them?
No, because they're real actors.
Oh, got it.
They're real people making real TV deals, talking to real people in real time. So have not one person being like, I'm at this event, hi, or walking up and being like, we should get a photo. So I'm like, this is great. I have no pressure to feel like I have to get a photo.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get a photo because if I do, I look like
You're
fucking
like a
loser.
cheeser. Yeah.
But that is what a real Hollywood party is like. People are actually talking about their next script.
Exactly.
And how they want to get this person in it. And so many people were there that were not part of the project that just love Harrison Ford or love Jason Segel or whatever.
Yeah.
Or love the producers of it because of the people that did Ted Lasso. So anyway, it was a fun night.
It just looks more mature, and I actually think that's going to be a trend we're going to see. I think people are going to like kind of cut back on the social media at like private events and concerts. There's nothing. I don't go to concerts anymore because I don't want to see everybody's phone. It's annoying. I'm like, put your arm down. I want to be in the show.
Well, at the Beyonce concert,
in Dubai,
Ali Shapiro, who's Jill Zarin's daughter, my friend, went, and she said they were told you absolutely can't film it. One, because she probably wants it for her own doc. Two, because Atlantis is going to do it. But I'm like, but wasn't that nice? Because you were there as a social influencer. Wasn't it kind of nice to be like, oh, have the night off?
Yeah.
Like, let me put my phone away and just like know that I'm not. Because when it is your job to be a social, and even ours, social media is such a big part of our job. You do feel this like, I got to get a picture. I got to do it because
crippling anxiety.
Yeah. And it's like, it's really nice
awful.
when you go to a party and they're like, lock up the phone.
Yes.
Or if you go to a party and you realize nobody's doing that,
it's such a breath of fresh air.
And don't.
Jenna Davis, the voice of Megan, she went to Vegas and went to the Bruno Mars concert, and they did the same thing. And she goes, and she's like 18 or 19. Yeah. And she was like, no phones. And she goes, I have to say, I actually really enjoyed it because we're seeing a show. And it's not about like, oh my God. Harry Styles, like his pants ripped on stage, and I'm sure he didn't want that out, but there we are.
Right.
It's like nothing was seen, but it is a breath of fresh air to be like, oh wow, I don't have to like be in the moment, and it just shows you kind of like a sense of maturity, and I think it's kind of like niche and chic.
And I think everyone does fit on social, like shit on social influencers as like it's not a real job. It really is. And it really is kind of a nightmare. And so it's like, it is nice.
I didn't do a damn thing on my social media yesterday.
I've said this for a while, but like if you were to have like a really nice party and you feel like your crew is people that are constantly posting and stuff, I think a great thing to do is to say, hey, we're going to put the phones away. You can have it in case your sitter's calling, whatever.
Sure.
We're going to put the phones away. I've got my friend who's got the ring light, the whole thing. We're going to take beautiful pictures all night long, and we're going to put them on the site or whatever, and you can gather anything you want and post the next day on your own account. I'm not trying to get $1 from it. I just want you guys to, like you would at a wedding.
Yeah, be respectful.
Just have some kid do it for a couple $100 and you will have such a better time. And then you know that I'm not missing out. I did get a great photo with all my best friends, but we didn't have to filming all night long.
Well, it's like that Broadway show, Take Me Out, where they that woman went in there and there's like full nudity in there. That woman was just like filming the show and put
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I forget who the actor is. I think he was like from Grey's Anatomy or something. But like, yeah, Evan went and saw it in New York on his trip and he was like, yeah, there was like full on like a shower scene because it's like a baseball team. And this woman was like recording it and like released it on YouTube. And I'm like, wow, that's like your privacy. That's
With
your
full
body.
dickage? Oh my God.
Yeah, I think it's great to like get off the social media every now and then.
Also, this made people really happy. Marie Kondo, who is throw it away if it doesn't bring you joy. She has a super popular book, Netflix special, all this, where she like rolls T-shirts in a certain way and stays really neat. Since she's had her
the
third,
organizer lady?
Yeah, since
Okay.
she's had her third kid, she admitted her place isn't that clean anymore. God. And everybody's like, exactly, get ready to having a third kid. Like, you can't do it. Other people are like, I love it. But that, I don't have this gene. It's something I'm extremely jealous of people that are kind of neat freaks and love to organize. And I'm so envious of it. It's something I've said my entire life. I need to organize. I wish I was more organized.
I have a friend.
So for me, no, I know. I got the neat freak, from LA. There's people that do it and I love it.
Yeah.
But I'm also being completely honest. If that happens with my home, it will not look the same in a couple months. I'm not a hoarder, but I will not put things back where they're supposed to be. It just won't happen.
First, guys. Heather is not a hoarder.
But maybe if I get into a system, then I just have the person come quarterly or something.
It really is about just getting a system. I honestly, because I'm the same way where I'm just like, I know where everything is supposed to go, but also I'm like, I get better at like, wiping things down and dusting and like doing all that. But I'm exactly the same way.
But it is kind of like she built her whole thing on it and then she admitted it. That's kind of crazy.
But also, what a great drag name, Marie Kondo. It's a good one.
12 celebs who admit they've had threesomes. Who the hell hasn't?
I mean,
if you
my
haven't
God.
had a threesome like me, you just look like the biggest nerd. People are calling me out. They're like, get away, you cute
You don't need
nerd.
to have a threesome. I've had a threesome, though. Like
Of course,
years ago.
If you hadn't had one, I'd be disgusted. Okay, here are the people that said they have had.
It was years ago.
I'm saying,
Okay.
thank God.
Yeah, got it out.
These are all the people that have said they've had them.
Uh-huh.
Lady Gaga,
Fair.
Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore, Jada Pinkett Smith, shocker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think with two guys.
Yeah, we got
and
it.
one being Will and one being his best friend. Megan King Edmonds, well, we know.
Who?
Megan King Edmonds from Real Housewives of OC.
Oh.
She had a threesome with the woman who now her ex-husband is married to.
Oh.
It's the ultimate life lesson of why not to have a threesome with your spouse.
Exactly. Scandalo.
Russell Brand, not shocked. Jane Fonda and Roger Vadim.
Okay.
Vadim. Anyway, Dennis Quaid.
Sure.
Big Sean. Brandi Glanville, obviously. Amber Rose. The Chainsmokers. So many. It's just not even.
Oh, the Chainsmokers one is so weird.
The bragginess is weird.
They're like
right?
bragging, and now like Selena Gomez is dating one of them, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. Pamela Anderson, she has a book coming out. I think I have a topic coming out about her, but she has a book and a Netflix special coming out. And I saw like a Page 6 article that was like, she said she walked in on Jack Nicholson at the Playboy Mansion having a threesome.
Yeah, what else are you supposed to do?
I'm like, I literally wrote, I go, the least shocking story that has ever been written
kidding.
in a Hollywood memoir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, of course.
He had a grotto. Shit went down.
Madonna is
Yes.
her project's been put on hold or taken off the shelves completely
Mm-hmm.
because Universal, I believe, did not like the script
Really?
and she wants the script to be more like gritty and dark, and they want it to be more pop and fun, according to Page 6. And now that she's going on tour and she wants to direct it, she's just taken off the table. I'm bummed because I really think that Julia Garner was such a perfect choice.
Perfect.
And we're going to get this movie, and the movie might even be better 7 years from now. But then I don't think it'll be appropriate for Julia Garner 7 years from now. And, if it's that era. So I'm like bummed because I remember seeing a made-for-TV movie many years ago about her life that was from the manager's perspective, which basically the manager was a female manager, and it was a story like how she got fucked over by Madonna. But like still loved it. Like, I could see 10 movies about Madonna. I could see each era of Madonna's life be acted out in a 2-hour Lifetime movie, and I would sit and watch it. I don't care. I want to see
2 hours.
I want to see Hindu Cowboy. I want to see The Sex Book. I want to see when she was in love with Guy and having her
Ritchie,
having her kid. I want to see when she was with Lourdes's dad. I want to. Like, I'm down
I want
to
to see what
see
she
it.
was looking for under that couch with her ass in the air.
With her fake ass. I want to see it all. I want to see her adopting her kids.
I'm really kind of upset about this. Like, I'm excited she's going on tour. That's going to be fun.
No, I'm bummed. I would have
Ticket
wanted to see
sales are
this.
going to be ridiculous, of course. But, like, I also like how she's asking her fans, like, what they want to hear. She doesn't care. Like, she's going to make the list, whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, I like that people are like, hey, do, dress you up in my love. Do this. Anyways. Do you remember the story behind this? How she sent all these potential Madonnas to a rigorous boot camp?
Yes.
To Madonna boot camp?
I know. I would be.
That's the show I want to see.
Well, maybe hopefully, I think they were probably, if they were smart, that should have been a doc that they were doing as an accompanied doc to the story. But now this has all been put on hold, and I do feel bad for Julia Garner, who was put through the ringer. But she's such a talented actor; she'll do other things. But she really had the look.
Yeah,
I thought she had the chops.
We're ready to go.
I think she could get the New York accent down, the English accent down, the Middle Eastern accent down.
All
the accents she could have done.
Yeah, I just love it because like I was ready for that. I was like, okay, we're getting a Madonna biopic. We're getting an Amy Winehouse pick. We got an Elvis biopic. We're getting everyone's biopic.
My Madonna song that I loved was...
Yeah, give me your top three. Top three Madonna songs of all time.
This one I never played, but it's... And I'm not sorry.
I'm not.
Do you know the...
So it's human nature.
It's human nature.
Yeah.
And that video was like all these people in boxes.
Yeah, S&M. I'm not your bitch. Don't hang your shit on me. That's a good Juicy Scoop anthem.
I love it.
Mine is.
Yes.
I think mine is definitely Causing a Commotion is one of them.
Yes.
Justice for Causing a Commotion.
Yes.
And Frozen. Frozen's like one of my favorites.
How does that go?
You only see what your eyes want to see. Remember when she's like falls and turns into a whole bunch of ravens? And Open Your Heart, where she takes the kid to the porn, to the strip club.
Well, obviously,
the Potomac Housewives.
Obviously, Like Prayer.
Like a Prayer was kind of like, meh.
No, I loved it because I was the Catholic girl and I loved it.
Yeah, that's why.
And I was like, Black Jesus is hot.
Black Jesus will always be hot.
And you know, Black Jesus is Cynthia
in Jeffree Star's.
is Cynthia Bailey's father of her child.
Really?
Cynthia Bailey.
Is that
he was a model? Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's kind of known. It's
Life
sort
is
of
a
weird
mystery.
Okay, Cher, who is engaged to Amber Rose's ex.
Yes.
AJ, what's his name? AE Edwards, something. She was at Disneyland with, I assume, he and Amber's child.
Oh, okay.
Because supposedly they're definitely together. She has a big ring. We don't know if they're really getting married, if it's a real engagement. But speaking of which, I just came across a video put together of all the times that she commented on Madonna over the years.
Oh, it's the best.
And she
I've
was
seen
like,
it on TikTok
she's like,
too.
I was very good friends with Sean Penn.
Yeah.
And I invited her for dinner. And I thought she was doing great things, but she was very rude, very entitled, very bratty. Then they ask her again, and she's like, look, no one knows how to do the business better than anybody. And then by the third one, she's like, I think she's improved. I think she's gotten a little bit better. But, it was just interesting because it's like, they're both, they're probably 15, 16 years apart because Madonna's like
64.
60, and I think she's pushed, how old is Cher? 76?
Like 76, 77.
Yeah, so they're like 10, 12 years apart. So, but I loved it. The Priscilla Presley, this is very interesting. So, Lisa Marie has been buried, and apparently her daughter... Is it Riley and the twins that are like 14? They have been left everything. And Priscilla just found out she's been left out of the will, the mother, since 2016. And she is contesting it, being like, how did this happen? And who was in charge of this happening? Was it Priscilla or was it some other powers that be? So now she's sort of at odds with her daughter, her granddaughter, Riley, who, by the way, Riley's husband, who read her, her speech for her at the funeral, he revealed that
Admitted.
they have a baby.
Yeah.
So we didn't even know that they had a daughter. So it's a mess.
This is some Southern shit right here.
Also weird will stuff. With the Judds.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Naomi Judd is the mom, correct?
Yes.
Who ended her life months ago. The Ashley Judd is the actress. Naomi Judd is
The mom. Winona's the daughter.
Winona is the daughter that she had very young, and the two of them were the Judds all these years. And then Ashley came later from a different father and became her own thing as an actress. Now there is supposedly a letter, which I saw, don't know if the authenticity of it, in which the mom, Naomi, left a letter saying, I don't want Winona having any part of my estate or anything to do with this.
So weird.
And I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell?
It's always weird too because it's like that's like a thing in the South. I don't understand if it's just a mother-daughter thing or what, but moms and daughters love taking each other to court. It's like such a thing. Like if the father dies or like, you know, if there is a trust, the moms and the daughters will fight for it regardless. Like they just do it. It's like second nature. And it's just weird because it's like you always saw Lisa Marie and Priscilla together. And I don't know. Maybe it was like, maybe Lisa Marie kind of got screwed over with Elvis's trust or something. Maybe Priscilla kind of like took the majority of that. And she was like, well, when I die, you're not going to get shit, lady.
Right. Or maybe, yeah. And maybe she also just thought like, maybe she had a weird fear that like her father, she would die young. And she was like, my mom spends a lot of money and my mom is 80 and doesn't need it or whatever she is, or 75, and my young girls will.
Yeah.
It's not weird that you wouldn't leave something to your mother.
It's very weird. And, you know, I don't want to rile up the Heather Hive and
Yes.
then being like, no, that's not true. I'm saying this because I've experienced it in my own family. So,
Yeah.
and I'm going to leave it at that. But
Yeah.
it is a thing. It
Wow.
is a thing.
Okay,
I sent you this.
Yes, this is a Justin special. Stormy Daniels, how do you know that name? Famous porn star, wrote a book. Michael Avante, who is this famous attorney, represented her in this book, in which then she sued him for not getting money. He has since go to prison. He was also suing Donald Trump because she wrote about Donald Trump, and Donald Trump said, you're a liar. So then they went after Donald Trump saying, you're
Have a micro penis.
You've committed slander.
Oh, right,
and
that
he
too.
said, or libel, and he said, no, I didn't, because anyway, he won. It's a big mess. Anyway, but Michael did all these other awful things, and he's now going to prison for like 13 years. So Stormy Daniels, whose book I read, because
Oh, really?
I like to read.
Yeah,
So
sex
I-
work is work.
I read the book and all about it. And anyway, so Stormy, if you'd like to promote this show, I'd love to have you on because
Get her
you have a
on.
juicy life. She has a show that's on Out TV. I don't know where you watch Out TV.
It's on outtv.com.
So, okay. So, and
I think, I'm pretty
It
sure.
is a dating show, much like The Bachelor.
Yeah.
But instead of guys and girls or Bachelor in Paradise, where it's guys and girls, you know, multiples of each, we don't have guys and girls. We don't have just guys.
Yeah.
We have daddies and himbos.
Uh-huh.
And oh my God, I didn't get it how they describe the daddies.
Mm-hmm.
But since you are gay, can you describe the difference between a daddy and a himbo?
Oh my God, I knew this day would come. I think a daddy is much like an older guy, put together, a little muscular and fit, maybe a little hairy.
I don't
you
think
know,
in this case,
like-
I don't think he necessarily has to be older.
Like Peter's a daddy.
Yeah.
Hear it?
Oh, here it is.
Yeah.
Wait, here. Let me.
Oh,
here,
is this the
let me just
Urban
read it.
Dictionary? Different. Okay.
Here you go.
I've been called a daddy.
Okay, here is how people described it.
Okay.
Okay, because I kind of thought it was always older guys, but it's not necessarily.
Not necessarily, no.
She says that she hosts a show. It's about real love stories. And daddies are men who are confident, mature, and ready to show you the ropes. So mature could be age, but I also think it could be a state of mind.
Yeah.
While himbos are men who are sexy, fun, and ready to show you a good time.
It's a mixture between bimbo and hottie, or it's like a handsome bimbo. What do you think I would be? I don't want to put you on the spot, but here we are.
I think at this point in your life, being that you've had sober January, I think you have transitioned.
Oh, from?
Himbo to daddy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was there a time I was a himbo?
Yes. Because a himbo and a daddy is not a bear and a twink.
So quick.
So everyone needs to know that.
Uh-huh.
A daddy and a himbo, I believe, is more of a state of mind and a way of presenting yourself. Where a bear is, right? A bear is a hairy guy that anybody would think was straight is not. Because he's not thin. He's like a little husky, like a bear.
Husky, like a
like
cub.
a lumberjack, okay?
Like a lumberjack.
And a twink is a thinner, no hair.
Yeah.
And they are the guys that might, work be a stylist or whatever.
Yes.
And they're going to be your best friend as a girl.
They make a lot of sounds, too. They're just
Yeah.
like, yes,
They say a lot of yes, queen.
Yeah, they do a lot of yes, queen, and yes, mama, and yeah.
When do you think yes, queen will go out of style?
It's done.
Okay, so what's the new one?
I think it's a little throwback. I think it's yes, mama. Mama's coming back, and mother. Yeah.
Well, I don't.
It's a reach.
As
It's a reach.
real
As a
mother,
real
I don't
mother.
think I want. I would like to be.
You wouldn't want to be like at Costco and like a twink juicy scooper seeing you at Costco and be like, yes, mother.
I will embrace any kind of anyone recognizing me. But the yes queen and girl, I still like. But I feel like it's got to go out of style.
It is.
Feeling
Well, and that was
dated.
addressed in Real Friends of WeHo. One of them does not like being called girl, and someone just kept calling him girl, and he was like, I swear to God, So it's a whole thing.
Interesting.
But also, what a great moment for DILFs and MILFs, We're getting MILF Manor and the DILF Island or whatever.
And I've got the MILF Manor girl coming on my show.
Good for you. That's a good one.
It was very disturbing. As someone who has a kid that's old, because their sons come on the show. Do you know that?
No.
On MILF Manor.
And they hang out?
Yeah.
Because it's two of them, right? Yes, I forgot the whole plot.
The moms are there, and then they're like, who are these young guys we're going to get to bone? And it's all their sons. So then their sons can date, not
That's
their mom,
weird.
but yeah.
That's weird.
I know. I was like, oh my God. And then they have to share a room with their son, which I'm like, oh my God, I would love that if I could just share a room with Drake. But then I'd be like, Drake, you and I are not going to get with anybody, but we're going to stay on the show for followers.
Can you though? You can't. Do you have to
No one could force you to hook up.
Oh my God.
But I would be like, okay, sorry that you got tricked into this. But we cannot.
You need an open marriage. You need an open marriage so you and Drake can get on MILF Manor season 2 because I need this programming.
Well, I'm already saying I won't be getting with any 22-year-old boy. Okay.
No, but lead them on. Let them think that there's a chance and then be like, you're up for elimination tonight if you can.
Oh my God. I'm going to end on this story.
Yes.
A casting director who was a casting director back in the day, he's like 80 anyway. He just talks about all the guys that he screwed when nobody knew anybody was gay. And this one story, he said, I was doing
Ketamine?
Boy in the Plastic Bubble, which was John Travolta. And the dad from Brady Bunch, who no one knew was gay, but he was gay. I don't know if he died of AIDS, but
Yes,
he was
he did.
gay.
Yeah.
And he was really annoyed because they straightened his hair or something for the parts, and he was like,
Sounds pretty gay to me.
So then the casting director's like, so I went into his trailer and I was like, I'm so sorry that we have to straighten your hair again for this scene with John Travolta being in a plastic bubble, but it's okay. And he's like, just get over it. He just kind of rubbed his shoulders. And then one thing led to another.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a lot of those stories. And I'm like, sorry, but this book is about 40 years too late to be juicy. Like, we know Rock Hudson. We know that there were gay parties and you went into bathrooms and, like, looked at each other and then, like, had sex and it was Hollywood. Like, we know it. Like,
well, also, it's
who's
not...
going to read this?
It's not just
It's not
that.
scandalous. Yeah.
Well, it's the same thing what you just said. Pamela Anderson. Jack Nicholson had a threesome at the Playboy Mansion. No shit. We're watching Housewives of Potomac. We know what's happening.
Oh, speaking of wills, Pamela Anderson, she had, she's been married so many times. She got married to this rich guy who was like her neighbor for like 10 days.
Great.
Anyway, she revealed that he has left her $1 million in his will no matter what. Even though they're divorced, even though they're not even hanging out, he was just like, I feel sorry for you, but I'm going to leave you $1 million.
Don't tell Priscilla Presley.
Yeah.
God.
Priscilla, wait, 10 million?
Wow.
Oh, that's significant.
Yeah, I mean, that's juicy.
Then you're set.
Yeah.
But he might not die for 20 years. But then whoever marries him, how annoyed are you?
Yeah, seriously.
Like, really, you're going to leave her 10 million? I mean, who knows? Maybe he has 300 million, so what's 10? I don't know how much he's worth.
Yeah.
But, like, very interesting. Now, this was sad. Real Housewives of OC, Tammy Knickerbocker. Now, this was from way back when. I've talked about how my favorite rainy days are when they run a Bravo marathon of old Real Housewives of OC. I'm talking sky tops, flared jeans, recession of
2008, yeah.
2008, 2009, just the music, the depressing stuff, like everything about it, the cheesiness. Nobody had lips.
Chunky highlights.
Nobody had eyelashes. Spray tans were something new and inventive.
What's contour?
Nobody knew how to do a cat nose. It was, anyway. So there was this girl, Tammy Knickerbocker, who was on for like 1 or 2 seasons, and she had 2 blonde daughters, and they did this like OC Angel thing, and that was it. She never did it again. We never really saw her. She was kind of a really mellow person. She was not she wasn't really great for the housewife. She wasn't like anyway, her daughter, she posted this whole thing about her daughter this weekend was living in Las Vegas and has gone missing. And everyone picked it up. It was really sad.
Yeah.
However, I was surprised that her other daughter, who was like raising, like, I remember the other daughter had like kind of a scary boyfriend and was like running a puppy mill or something out of Anaheim. She's doing fine. She's like a surgical nurse. She's doing fine. This one apparently isn't. So she's in Vegas. No, everyone was assuming the worst. The good news is she has spoken to mom. Thank you. She found her. She talked to her. But now she's like so embarrassed that she woke up from whatever to find that every Bravo fan was like, call your mother. So she's like, I'm fine. The guy I'm with is fine. I just don't want to talk. I think she's probably has some substance abuse, in my opinion. But it just makes you wonder because she and Lynn Curtin, who were, again, from those eras, this was before social media where you were just on this show as a kid. You weren't making any money, but you're forever being replayed. No residuals, no becoming Kim Zolciak's daughters that make a shit ton of money. You just were exposed.
Yeah.
And I think some of them have really like suffered. And you just kind of, because of the time that they were exposed and like how it's never gone away, I just kind of wonder if that had anything, I mean, it's hard to say and it's not Tammy's fault, but you kind of wonder if it had something to do with it.
But now I worry about Drake because I feel like if he doesn't call you in a certain amount of time, all the juicy scoopers will be like, call your mother!
Well,
She's
now now I can do that. Now I know how to do that.
As the heir to the juicy scoop throne.
Now I know to be like, yes. Every kid should know that anytime your mom texts you, it's just a proof of life.
Did you say texts?
Text. Anytime your mom sends you a text. How you doing? Are you coming? Any question. Just immediately write back. A heart, anything, I'm good. It just means that she's thought, could my son be dead right now?
Right.
And so we just need you to write back. And
let us know.
And then you can get back later, just so you know.
It's Knickerbocker syndrome.
Yes.
It has a scientific name.
And then Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Heather Gay had this black guy. She has now revealed that she blacked out and she doesn't know why she got the black guy, in which I predict her next season will be struggling with her newfound drinking and drug use because Lisa Barlow said, I heard that you and Meredith do ketamine. What is it called?
Ketamine, yes.
Ketamine. And
it's a horse tranquilizer.
And when you mix it with drinking, wouldn't that just make you go to sleep? Or people like to party off of it?
Well, if you're a housewife of Salt Lake City, I don't know. I mean, to each their own.
But what people that use it, what is the result?
It just kind of chills you out, and it's kind of like mellow, and allegedly.
They chuckled about it, but
yeah.
they didn't blatantly deny it.
It's weird because it's a tranquilizer and you think that it would just knock you out, but some people, it's just kind of like, it doesn't give you like the upper of, say, like a cocaine.
Yeah.
But it does like
speaking of the
chill you out.
Cocaine, doing coke in the bathroom, that's another rumor going around that this crazy night in which she woke up with a black eye, they were up till 4:50 in the morning, that maybe she was doing the cocaine on a counter and slipped and hit her eye.
Why? Isn't that like Housewives rules? Haven't there been like Etsy signs that have been created that, like for everyone's bathroom that says, please don't do coke in the bathroom?
So I don't know if that's true.
Wow. Also, do they hold snowflakes? Is that a thing?
Yeah, they hold
I had no idea that was like their thing.
I don't know, but again, I just think these girls go on these and they think they can only be interesting or funny if they get completely wasted, and then they get very into it. And just like anything else, you have to be on. You getting very little sleep. Mm-hmm. They're not feeding you. Now someone gives you some Adderall or something else or some whatever. And it might be interesting to see if I would love it if next season she really kind of came clean and was like, wow, I really kind of got out of control with Jen Shah and other people. And this really isn't me. I don't know.
Are they Mormons?
She's Mormon, but she has left the Mormon church and she wrote a book called Bad Mormon, which I think is very similar to Bad Republican, which is our girl Meghan McCain's book.
Uh-huh.
A little similar.
But it's also like,
whatever.
That's the storyline. She's like, I'm going to live my life. I'm going to break the stigma of what it is to be Mormon.
And
I can party. I can do ketamine.
Right. But she's not admitting it. So I think the book would have been more interesting if she admitted it. I've just heard a little bit that it's not that it's not juicy at all.
But I'm sorry, if you're waking up with a black eye and don't remember it, take some steps back.
Exactly. Meanwhile, Jen Shah canceled her interview with Andy because I think she thought there's more of an opportunity to make some money. To hear my real story, she said, subscribe to Dear Jen Shah and leave me your email address.
And your social security number.
Yes.
Oh my God, Anna, how did you get in here?
Yeah, so everyone was joking about it, myself included. Like, no, I'm not going to give you my email or anything else to a person that ran the biggest email marketing scam ever. I want to be part of your subscription business. Are you fucking kidding me?
I mean, Housewives and Anna Delvey are the new like Nigerian princes who like call you and they're like,
I know.
Can you help us? Oh my God.
Horrible. Then Miami, this girl, Marisol, which Miami is the best season ever. Watch it on Peacock. Start today. You don't need to even go back. You could just start from the very first, from this season and catch up. Anyway, she wore this feather outfit and then she wore these rings that are these like chicken fingers. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I really think she did this consciously.
Oh, for sure. Like
to look like a chicken.
When I was a kid, I did them with bugle chips. Do you remember the bugles? Look at me, I've got nails.
Nails?
Yep, I get it.
And then you showed me that the chicken fingers are very in because here's Jeffree Starr. Jeffree Starr went away. Now he's come back. Jeffree Starr is a makeup YouTube guru that was really, really made a splash. I don't know, maybe 10 years ago.
On MySpace.
So he's been around a long time.
Yeah.
And he has a fake ass, but doesn't have boobs, but wears makeup and like wigs. But then more wears just like a Gucci jumpsuit.
I mean, but also
But dates men,
but also just reviews makeup and just has way too much money.
Has so much money.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's making a comeback. So he has an ad with. So, what does this say here?
I'm so glad you asked because this is his new line of makeup called Banana Fetish, which is ripping off the Balenciaga look completely.
Okay.
But also, I think I looked at this and I was like,
He has
Is this problematic?
He has the chicken fingers. He is problematic, and now I
Yes.
think he's just leaning into it.
He's
not trying to act like he's not. He's like,
right.
any way I can get juicy scoop to
Yes.
talk about me and everybody else, I'm going to do it.
Right.
And if you want to buy another eyeshadow palette, like I said, eyeshadow can last up to 10 years if you got a nice palette. If you want to get one every month from him and Kylie, whatever, that's how you want to spend your money. Some people in my day bought Beanie Babies. Whatever you want to waste your money on. But you don't need this much eyeshadow.
Or, you know.
Or get it for fun. I don't know.
I don't know. And the banana.
Really,
and
I don't think yellow eyeshadow is flattering on anyone, but if that's what this is about, go get it.
It's just a reach, and I'm going to leave it at that.
All right. Real friends of WeHo.
Oh, God, I said it was a reach.
I talked about this. I watched the second episode. It's a lot of fake drama. It's a lot of fake friends. But you know, whatever. It's okay. I do like watching. I do kind of enjoy watching Brad probably the most as just like talking. Like he's the most. This guy.
Can I stop you real quick?
Yes, please do.
I 1000% agree with you.
Yeah.
Brad and Gary Janetti. That's the show. Give me Brad and his husband reading.
And if we could find some people that they're actually friends with.
Yes. Brad and Gary are really, really fun.
Yeah.
That's the show.
This guy who is a former model, this one in the corner, he owns a skincare line called Butter. And I mean, what's good for him is that he's getting a lot of press for this line. So if you want to check it out, but he's just really awful. And
he's terrible.
He's so awful.
I cannot believe. I was like, so this is the moment you're getting to represent your company and you're fighting at parties. You're saying like shady remarks.
It just feels really pushed and fake.
Oh,
so,
yeah. Well,
I
no,
don't
when
know.
Brad is like dressing him for like whatever his
photo
campaign,
shoot.
he's like, well, maybe I'll get her next time because she showed up. You don't know how things work. Like, Brad doesn't need to be there. I'm defending Brad.
Well,
I'm Team
also,
Brad.
they probably thought he might have COVID, and they're like, we can't have you come around. And he just didn't want to say the word. So, anyway.
This one sounds like he has a cold and gets mad when people call him an influencer, even though that's what he is. He's like, it's so crazy that people would think that I would like be offended by the term influencer.
I think all these guys, I don't begrudge them for taking it. I just don't think it was the best casting, and but it could be. I don't know. We'll see.
Well,
I don't know. Like it got really bad ratings and stuff, but now I'm 2 episodes in, so maybe it might grow.
No, it won't.
Oh,
because Heather, the gays have spoken, and when they speak, it is like put into the universe.
Well, one thing I thought was interesting is Todrick, who performs as a singer and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He said, gay men don't support me. They want to see, Christina Aguilera, Miley, whatever. They want to see female singers. They actually don't really want to see.
Who pay their backup dancers.
Right. That's his scandal. He did say it was for an opportunity.
No.
Okay. Anyway, so I kind of think that's interesting too, that maybe gay men who they thought would all be watching this, they would rather watch Real Housewives at a female strip club than watching gay men bitch about a photo shoot.
No, this isn't. No, Heather.
What is it?
I'm going to bring you into
I'm not a gay man.
This is what happened. Well, kind of. You're on your way.
I would love to be. Can I come back as a gay man?
The scandal of this show was that A, they're not all real friends.
Right.
B, like 3 of them don't even live in West Hollywood. And C, very importantly, this was slammed right in between Drag Race. Drag Race used to be 90 minutes long.
Oh, that's why people are so mad.
And they broke it up into, you're going to get your Drag Race, then we're going to give you this show that no one asked for.
I mean, that is really...
And then we're going to give you Untucked. And Untucked is the behind the scenes of what's going on during the judges' deliberation.
So all these drag race fans literally...
turn their TV
well,
off.
It's like eating your most delicious cake and then someone taking the cake away.
Exactly.
Saying, now eat this broccoli.
Yeah.
If you want to come back and eat this cake.
Yeah. So what I did on Friday is I watched it. I did it. And I ate the cake. I continued to eat it.
Okay.
And so I got Drag Race, and then I was like, you know what? sure, this show bombed. It got like 20,000 views. It is a flop. Maybe I should check it out and watch it. I felt bad about it.
Yeah.
And then I watched it, and it's literally, nobody wants this. Nobody wants to watch Drag Race and then go into a storyline about a guy who just recently came out of the closet, is now on a television show.
Right.
And his friends are like, hey, do you want to go to Palm Springs Pride? Todrick Hall's headlining it. And he's like, I'm just not there yet. I can't go to Palm Springs Pride this year. I'm sorry. Can you just turn the cameras off? And you're like, what? Like,
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I agree.
Oh.
I agree. Okay, Justin, what a great life we have.
That was really fun. That was a great episode.
Always. Justin, tell everybody where they can find you, listen, what you up to,
Oh my gosh.
how they can follow you and Evan's Love.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Follow us on Instagram Reels. Follow me on Instagram at Justin Martindale. You can also listen to my podcast, Just Saying, which comes out every Tuesday night, 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Make sure to like and review and subscribe to that. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. I got some shows coming up.
Yeah,
follow him on Instagram.
But yeah, if you just follow Justin, then
Yeah.
you'll see if he's like coming to your town or if you want to go. He does a lot of Comedy Store and local LA shows, which
yes.
is always fun.
Oh, I'll be at the Bourbon Room on Valentine's Day. So
Sexy,
yes.
sexy times. Go do that. Love you. Bye-bye.